Since 1958, our nation has recognized Law Day as a chance to reflect on the importance of the rule of law in our democracy. This year's theme is the legacy of John Adams. John Adams was our second president, and he served from 1797 to 1801. As one of our founding fathers, John Adams contributed substantially to the ideas and language in the Articles of Confederation and Declaration of Independence. He helped lead the American Revolution and performed important diplomatic roles in the early life of our nation. John Adams was also a lawyer, and a very good one. He was one of 26 lawyers who have served as President of the United States. It is for his dedication and commitment to the rule of law that we honor him for this year's Law Day celebration. As Americans, we believe it is vital to have a strong legal system to protect us and maintain our freedom. Carrying out that belief, however, is not always easy. It certainly wasn't for John Adams. In the days before the American Revolution, Adams was a well-established lawyer in Boston, and he had a front-row seat to the events that led to the American Revolution. The Massachusetts colony, especially the harbor city of Boston, was the frequent site of protests and demonstrations because many in the colonies believed they were being taxed unfairly. They despised the British soldiers, the Redcoats, who were sent by England to enforce British rule. In this tense setting, on March 5, 1770, a group of British soldiers fired into a crowd of colonists and killed 5 of them. Their captain and several men were arrested and held for trial. News of the Boston Massacre spread throughout the colonies. Unfortunately for the British soldiers, lawyers in the colonies were by and large unwilling to represent them in court. Most lawyers didn't want to be associated with a group of defendants who were considered the enemy. Attorneys were afraid that they would lose clients and perhaps even be in physical danger. John Adams saw things differently. He was appalled by the deaths of unarmed civilians, but he was also appalled by the thought that defendants might be denied their right to a fair trial. After much thought, Adams decided to take the case. He knew he would lose clients, and he knew that many in Boston would believe his defense of British soldiers meant that his loyalties were with the Crown. Adams successfully defended the soldiers at trial. He called witnesses who described the crowd as an angry mob that threw clamshells and threatened the soldiers with clubs. He also cast doubt on who actually yelled fire, the captain or one of the taunting men in the crowd. In the end, the captain and his men were found not guilty of murder. After the trial, Adams' law practice did lose clients, and even though he was one of the leaders of the American Revolution against the British Crown, he never regretted his decision to ensure that the soldiers had an attorney and received a fair trial. Adams' commitment to the rule of law was more important than popular opinion and more important than personal gain. Since then, countless attorneys have taken on unpopular causes and defended people who may already have been convicted in the court of public opinion. Many of those lawyers volunteered their services. Their actions helped maintain our most basic commitment to a fair trial, just as John Adams did. We must also recognize lawyers who work every day to represent people who cannot afford to pay legal fees. Public defenders help uphold the integrity of our criminal justice system by providing a strong defense. Legal services lawyers play a similarly important role by representing the poor in civil matters. Many other lawyers volunteer their services free of charge. Through their pro bono work, they too carry out the legacy of John Adams. This Law Day, let's remember John Adams for his dedication to the rule of law, for his leadership in helping build a nation of laws, and for his inspiration to the many dedicated lawyers all around us.